Got me hot. Yeah. Got me hot.
We're brothers. We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
Welcome to another edition of BroTalk Live, the best show on late night for you by us. BroTalk, always on the Marcus main man, Jason, in the director's seat. As usual, thanks for tuning in on another Tuesday night with the crew. Let's kick it over to my main man, Dex. What up, bro?
Dexter here. Super excited to be here. I am so tired tonight, guys. I was in court for the past 2 days. I am finally out. I'll be back tomorrow. It is such an exhausting time.
Hold up. You in court? What you doing in court? You doing the Diddy thing?
I'm covering the Diddy trial. Like it is, I'm covering it like I'm getting paid for it. It is really a lot of work. I have to cover it for my group chats. Like everybody wants to know like what's going on, and I have to break it down for everybody. Like it is a full-time job.
Will you have all of the latest for us tonight on BroTalk Live?
I literally can tell you every single thing that happened in the court today, from what they had on to the times that they walked in and out. Like I am an expert on the Diddy trial.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, we do have some Diddy trial news coming up. It's just going to be me and Dex today. So, you know, get your popcorn ready, get snuggled up in a blanket or something, and get ready for a great show. Dex, what you going to say?
Now, don't say snuggle in the blanket because then they go to sleep.
They're going to be knocked the hell out.
But can I just tell everybody what we're in right now?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are officially in the countdown to Father's Day, the
Oh.
biggest holiday of the year. We are on our way to the glorious day of Father's Day. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Sorry for all the people who took offense to our Mother's Day messages that we had up on the TikTok and Facebook and Instagrams.
Well, I just let you know, if you were offended by that, it's going to get even worse come next month because I have things to say.
Okay. A lot. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the team now, so we like no more half-assing Father's Day.
Well, Dex, we have to talk about, speaking of half-assing, the president of the United States. He got a new jet, a new jumbo jet. And we also have some news about the former president of the United States, so stay tuned for that. So, Dex, what we got first?
Politics.
Hey!
Politics as usual.
Good job, Dex. I'm proud of you.
It's about time, right?
Actually hit the mark. All right, so here's what's stirring things up tonight. A plane, a president, and a promise, allegedly, to put America first. Donald Trump says he's ready to replace Air Force One with a luxury jet, but not one that's made in America, one that was gifted to him by the country of Qatar. However you want to say it. I think it's Qatar. That's the official pronunciation.
I thought it was. We don't want to know what I thought it was.
The monarchy over there in the Gulf that's been criticized for ties to Hamas and lavish foreign spending is offering a custom 747 to the president, and he's all here for it.
If we can get a 747 as a contribution to our Defense Department to use during a couple of years while they're building the other ones, I think that was a very nice gesture. Now, I could be a stupid person and say, oh, no, we don't want a free plane. We give free things out. We'll take one, too. And it helps us out because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it. So I think it's a great gesture from Qatar. I appreciate it very much.
Says it's a thank you for keeping Qatar safe. But even some of his most loyal MAGA allies are calling foul, warning that it clashes with his own brand as far as keeping America first, and possibly even the Constitution.
And the Constitution in Article 2 talks about the president can't take emoluments or gifts from foreign leaders. And so there is a provision in the Constitution that says you can't do this. And so the question is, can you do it if it's only for official purposes? If it came to someone in Congress, they can vote and the Ethics Committee can look at it. With his, there will have to be some kind of adjudication. This has never been done, and it's not like a ride on the plane. We're talking about the entire $400 million plane. I think it's not worth the appearance of impropriety, whether it's improper or not. I don't think it's worth it. The other problem with Qatar is, see, I've spent time trying not to sell weapons to Qatar because they have human rights violations of their people. Many of their people are prevented from participating in the government, and some of the minority religious folks in Qatar are treated poorly. And so I really haven't been a big fan, and I wonder if our ability to judge their human rights record would be clouded by the fact of this large gift. So I wouldn't.
So you say you wouldn't do it. I know, shocking to hear from the Republican Party. But don't fret, MAGA fans. There are still those willing to sound insane in the name of Trump.
And I believe it's just a sign again of just God's favor. In the Bible, Jesus said, hey, go tell a guy that I need 2 of his donkeys that have never been ridden before. And I'm sure some people were upset when they saw the one donkey coming in. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that Jesus is having a new donkey. You know, there's always somebody that has to criticize, and yet God wants to bless. And I think it's a sign into our country that we are in a great spot right now.
Good Lord. Now, let's peel the layers back, and it gets even stickier. This isn't just about the plane. Qatar's been writing checks, big ones, a $5.5 billion golf deal with the Trump organization, a $400 million jet that's supposedly headed to his presidential library. And oh yeah, $142 billion weapons sale approved by him just today. His press team says that this is all above board, but is it? Because the attorney general used to be a lobbyist for Qatar and made $155,000 a month doing so. That's a red flag that you really can't miss. Dex, what do you think about the plane?
Okay, so I know that we probably want a line here. I don't have an issue with it. I look at it like this. If I'm at Chipotle and you give me an extra scoop of chicken and some guacamole and you don't charge me for it, thank you. You know what I mean? Like I feel like that is a very nice gesture to give me something for free that I don't have to pay for. I don't have any, I don't have to put no money out or nothing for it. It's a simple, nice gesture. And why would I pay for it?
Okay, but let's say you work for a TV station, right? Let's just put this in our terms. Let's say you work for a TV station like NBC, right? And CBS is offering to buy you, a nice microphone to do your podcasting work on. You're not going to feel weird about accepting that gift from CBS when you're contracted under NBC?
I think that was really kind of them to give me that microphone. Like, I mean, thank you for the microphone. I don't understand the issue. Like, do you think they're going to ask you for something later on, like before you, like?
That's how that works. I mean, they're giving him a $400 million plane, Dex. You don't think they're going to ask for something back on the back end?
But you know what I will say though, like, I think I admire the fact that he's transparent about it too. Like, he didn't have to tell us that they were doing this, and he told us. Like, I think that's knowledge.
So you think it's above board because he's bragging about it? Because this could also be construed.
He told us about it.
He's bragging about it, but this could also this could be misconstrued though as a power play, and Trump flaunting his power that he has and just throwing the Constitution to the wind when it clearly says you cannot accept gifts like this without congressional approval.
Well, it doesn't necessarily say you can't accept a plane specifically.
Okay, yes, not a plane, but large. This is not considered a large gift.
I mean, I think they're talking about monetary gifts.
It's something that's going to, I guess, act in an official capacity if he's going to be taking it in the air as Air Force One. Like, isn't that not also a problem?
What's the issue? Now we gotta check that plane now.
He's using it as a government plane from another country. What is this?
Well, guess what, Jason? When we be sending all that money overseas, they be buying planes and whatnot too with our money. Like, we've given out enough money. Like, why can't we get something?
They're not giving us $400 million to buy the plane.
We've given out $400 million to other people to buy.
But that's not the question. He's not getting money to purchase our own plane.
Would you be okay with that?
A plane that could have anything in it. It could have a bomb in it. It could have surveillance in it. It could have microphones embedded in it. Who knows what it can have?
If he's okay with getting on the plane, then it may have a bomb in it.
Because all he cares about is the plane. He doesn't care about what might be on there.
Look, I tried really hard to find an issue with this, and I don't have one. I really don't have any issue with this.
Thank you, Darren. It says any gifts from foreign government is in fact against the Constitution. Operation Trojan Horse, to be exact. Look at that.
Shut up, Darren.
All right, let us know how you feel if you're on YouTube or Facebook in the comments. If you're on Twitter, just make sure you follow us for more of this. Now, we have a little bit, switching gears, we're going to stay with Trump. Got ourselves a heavyweight ideological, oh my God, matchup. One of them wears a robe and the other wears a red tie. One also wears a red hat. Pope Leo XIV, the first American pope, Creole roots apparently, longtime advocate for the poor, is not backing down from a fight. His early messages are all about justice, dignity, and welcoming immigrants. Meanwhile, President Trump, as we know, is in term 2, full throttle, no pivots. His policies are even harder on immigrants and working class families this time around. And he's not exactly thrilled with a woke pope speaking up. So the question, Dex, is Pope Leo XIV the one who's finally going to challenge Trump from the pulpit with real influence? Or, let's be real here, does the Pope even have that kind of power anymore, especially in America? And in America, where a majority of Catholics actually ended up voting for Trump again this time around. What you think?
Yeah, I don't see this happening. And it's one of those things where I feel like with us in the United States, anti-Trump people in the United States, we're grasping for straws. We're like, oh, the Pope's going to say something. I don't think so. I will say he could potentially be inclined to do it since he is from the States, maybe. Chicago. But like overall, I don't think he's going to say anything. And if he does, I don't think Trump is going to care. You know, and I didn't realize how disrespectful.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause there really quick. So you don't think it's going to become a pissing match between the Pope and Trump, where they're going to be going at each other? You think just Trump won't engage? That's what you think?
I think if he would engage in the way that he does things, and I don't think that the Pope can roll around in the mud like that.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course not.
Yeah,
but do you
so
think he would actually attack the Pope, as far as like on Truth Social or something like that?
Yes.
You think he would? Okay,
yeah.
That's a big one.
You know, he put up a picture of himself dressed as the Pope after the Pope died.
Yeah, but that's not. But that's not saying
that was
Pope,
extremely disrespectful. That was so disrespectful.
Because how can you tell the Pope he's wrong? Shakima wants to know what's he going to do to Don. He can't beat him up. I mean, but he's the Pope. You can get God to beat him up.
God is not listening. Come on.
Hold up. Be careful. Be very careful. Continue with your thoughts about the Pope that you were going to get to before I interrupt.
Come on now. Like, I'm just saying, I think it was disrespectful for Donald Trump to post that picture of him dressed as the Pope. I thought that was.
It was. No, it was. Catholics, a majority of Catholics voted for Trump this time around. 59%. I think I have the stats here. 59% of people who identify as Catholic voted for Trump this time around. Would the Pope even have anybody to talk to if he wanted to in America?
Don't. If he wants to.
If he wants to. I mean, because, you know, he's talking about
I can't say nothing because I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Okay. So 0% chance that the Pope has any influence on what Donald Trump's going to do for the next 3 years.
I don't think so, because remember the last Pope, like he was very progressive, and like you see what the Catholics did in turn. Like they voted for the least progressive person that was running. So like I don't know how much power.
But that Pope, I guess Americans or MAGAs could say, okay, he wasn't American. He doesn't understand what it is in America and what we're fighting for here. He's speaking off of something in Europe. But this is an actual American who was born here, who spent a lot of time here, although most of his practice was in Peru, 20 years, but he's still from America. He knows what America is.
Yeah, but like the issues that the last Pope addressed, like they were American issues. Like it wasn't something like he pulled out of his butt or it's just happening over there. It was happening here too.
Yeah, but it's easy for MAGA people to say, you're not American. I don't have to listen to you.
Well, they love that.
They love that, don't they?
They love saying that.
Love it. Okay, so we wish the Pope the absolute best. If it does get in a mudslinging contest, who do you think America would back as you know, I guess the winner of whatever said battle it would be? Because I'm thinking, I don't know, MAGA people are pretty united.
They are backing Donald Trump.
That's crazy to me.
In fact, I might crazy. Donald Trump. Like like you the Pope and all, but you
get your mask. Where's your mask? Get your mask because be careful. You got an all-time record viewership right now.
Because we backed Donald Trump when it came to the prime leader.
Who is we? Who is we?
America. We backed him when it came to the prime minister over there in Canada.
Oh, they're not really ministers, Dex. Why did you say that?
That's what they call them, the prime minister. That's what they're called.
They're not actual
Just saying, but that's what we back.
That just means president. That's all that means.
Yes, but we back Donald Trump. The point is we back Donald Trump.
I thought you were relating it to the Pope as far as.
Oh no. I was back now as a Christian. I'm going to back my pastor over Donald Trump, and he always has some things to say about Donald Trump every single Sunday.
But the Pope,
back him 100%.
But the Pope's not your pastor.
The Pope has nothing to do with me.
All right, moving on. Earlier this week, Trump, this is something Dex pointed out to me. Trump was giving a press conference about lowering prescription drug prices, but instead of sticking to policy, he goes, of course, full Trump, rambling into a story about a quote-unquote very brilliant, very neurotic, and very overweight businessman who's apparently mad about the cost of a certain bit of medication.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. A friend of mine who's a businessman, very, very, very top guy. Most of you would have heard of him. A highly neurotic, brilliant businessman, seriously overweight, and he takes the fat shot drug. And he called me up, and he said, President, he calls me, he used to call me Donald, now he calls me President, so that's nice respect. But he's a rough guy, smart guy. Very successful, very rich. I wouldn't even know how we would know this, but because he's got comments. President, could I ask you a question? What? I'm in London, and I just paid for this damn fat drug I take. I said, it's not working. He said, I just paid $88, and in New York I pay $1,300. What the hell is going on?
People immediately clock that description as sounding a lot like Elon Musk, who, by the way, has publicly said that he takes Mounjaro for weight loss. So someone asked Grok, Musk's own AI chatbot that is on Twitter or X, who Trump was talking about. And Elon Musk's Grok said, yeah, that's probably Elon. The post for Grok reads, it's likely that Trump was referring to Elon Musk in the quoted tweet. Musk has publicly admitted to using weight loss drugs like Ozempic and fits the description of a well-known, brilliant businessman. His international travel supports the price complaint scenario. However, the seriously overweight label doesn't perfectly match Musk's public image, and Trump's storytelling can be exaggerated, leaving more uncertainty. Wow. So Dex, what's more absurd, Trump calling someone else fat or Grok outing its own creator like that? What do you think?
I think Donald Trump standing up there and giving that speech was the most distasteful thing that he did this week, and that's saying a lot. That is insane. Like, there is no reason to get up there and talk about Chris Christie like that.
No. Chris Christie, first of all, is not a billionaire, and that was my first thought. But then I thought
immediately I thought Chris Christie, and the only word I heard, there's only one word that I heard, two words actually that I heard that made me think Chris Christie. You know,
seriously.
Yes, and those two words made me think, oh, Chris Christie. I didn't hear anything else. So like,
but billionaire with a B, that would be Elon. Who?
I was thinking somebody else, but they passed away, so I shouldn't say it.
Okay. Well,
Christie Allen.
Why would he? Okay. Do you think he was talking about Elon though?
I feel like he knows better not to talk about Elon. Like, I feel like it's just.
But he said very successful, and like he like made it a point to say like extremely successful.
Yeah, but like his definition of successful is probably like people just are on par with him.
But then he said, I don't even know how we would know that, like, because he knows that we know that.
Because this person is like low key. This person is like a low key person.
But how many extremely wealthy people that you have seen are like fat? Like Bezos isn't fat. Mark Zuckerberg isn't fat.
No, I don't think Elon's like seriously overweight either, though.
But I think Trump would think that. That's the thing. I think Trump would consider Elon Musk seriously overweight, probably because Elon talks to him about it.
You know what? I know who he's talking about.
Who?
He's talking about himself. This is him. This is you. He went over there. He saw that price tag. He said, "God damn."
Oh, gosh. Well, hopefully he lowers the drug prices for everyone and not just his rich friends. Okay. There's another moment here where decency and politics are heading for a crash. Former President Joe Biden, now 82, just had a routine physical, and doctors found a small nodule in his prostate. Nothing definitive yet, just a need for quote unquote further evaluation. But that hasn't stopped the conversation. Health issues at this age, common, but political ammo, even more common. Now, we know how Trump has gone after Biden in the past, calling him mentally unfit, weak, the worst president in history. But the question that I have for you, Dex, is now that Biden is no longer running and there's no more chance for him to become president again, and he's not really a political opponent anymore, and this health update is public, do you think Trump will finally ease up on the personal attacks?
No, because I think that Donald Trump still has to find somebody to blame things on. So if anything doesn't go right with like the economy or something, he still has to blame Joe Biden for it. So you still have to have that negative ammunition towards Joe Biden, no matter what he's going through. Like, you still have to kind of have that. Plus, remember, this is the same man when John McCain was dying of cancer. He did not let up on John McCain.
That's crazy to me. Like, and it was someone else that recently was sick or had something going on. And the thing is that when Trump got shot, Kamala Harris sent well wishes, Biden sent well wishes, but it just seems like it's like completely not reciprocated the other way around. Not that I would expect.
Get shot at?
Well, shot, allegedly on the air.
I wish I would send well wishes to somebody with a bullet graze on their ear. You boy, get up and wipe the blood off. Yeah, come on now. It ain't no way I would have said no. That's why she lost.
If you were on Trump's cabinet, is this something that you would position to him to say, "Hey, lighten up just a little bit"?
No, because like honestly, like Trump knows where he's going when his life ends. He knows where he's going. Like, you might as well look. That bed is made, buddy. Just lay up in there, okay? Enjoy it. Because like at the end of the day, when things happen with this economy, you have to go back and blame the past administration. This is just what you do. Your supporters have allowed it. They've accepted this. They're okay with it. So like you have to say like, oh yeah, this is Joe. It's because of Joe Biden. He's the worst president. Blah blah blah. You have to do that. He wasn't able to focus on this because his health was declining even back then. That's what Trump has to do, and that's what he's going to do.
All right. For more politics, make sure you hit us up on the BroTalk Live YouTube channel. Subscribe if you're there. YouTube.com/@BroTalk Live.
Scoop, 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 scoop.
New testimony in federal court is painting a dark, very dark, chilling portrait of the relationship between Sean Diddy Combs and his former partner and Bad Boy Records signee, Cassie Ventura. Cassie, who took the stand today, visibly pregnant, testified in graphic emotional detail about years of alleged abuse, physical beatings, forced sex acts, and what she described in vivid detail, the freak-offs, the parties orchestrated by Diddy. These parties, she said, became part of her weekly life for years, fueled by drugs, money, and fear. And according to Cassie, Combs introduced her to ecstasy and other drugs early on in their relationship. Eventually, she claims he coerced her into performing sex acts with male escorts while he watched, recorded, and directed the encounters like a pornography film. One male sex worker, Daniel Phillip, also testified he described seeing Cassie shaking uncontrollably after an alleged assault by Combs and said that they ended up kissing as she sought comfort. Combs' defense team tried to reframe this as a consensual experience, but Phillips, the escort, pushed back, saying that Cassie was clearly afraid and not fully in control of herself or the situation. Cassie's testimony also revealed that Combs allegedly kept blackmail materials, including sex tapes, and used violence to maintain control. In one particularly shocking moment, She described being urinated on during these encounters, something that she says she never consented to. And for anyone wondering why she didn't just walk away, Cassie explained, I didn't know what no would turn into, so I didn't want to say no. Combs has denied all charges and is pleading not guilty. But Dex, let's get just right into it, because this isn't just about guilt or innocence at this point. It's about, what we're willing to tolerate from people who are celebrities. And if Diddy walks out of court a free man, which is possible, no conviction, no prison, no official consequence, are we still as a culture obligated to cancel him?
Look, I said on the show last week that I do not see Diddy being found guilty in this situation. I do, however, think in the court of public opinion, absolutely guilty. I don't know what that looks like, though, in 2025, because one of the big things that I've noticed in this situation is that a lot of people do not understand the charges. The charges are racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. From what I'm hearing, none of that stuff is very clearly happening here. I think what we're seeing is disgusting sex acts and domestic violence. Two things he's not being charged for. There's like all these stories really don't mean anything when they're not actually sticking to what he's actually being charged for. So I do have some iffiness about him actually going to jail. Now, as far as the question you actually asked, would he be canceled if he's, I guess, made free? In 2025, it's really hard to say yes to that, because there are still people out here who are defending R. Kelly. There are still people out here who are saying R. Kelly should be freed, despite seeing the evidence of what he did, seeing the people talk about it for years at this point. Another thing that I saw with Diddy that really makes me, it scares me a little bit, is that there are reporters from Wall Street Journal and New York Times that are asking the judge to allow them to see the evidence, which is the videos, the freak off videos that Cassie had on her phone. They want to see that because they feel like they have an obligation to explain that to the public. As I'm reading this report today, I saw so many people talk about how bad they want to see the videos as well. And I'm taking that step back and I'm like, you're not wanting to see these videos because, you want to find some justice or something like that. You want to see these videos because it's Cassie Ventura, potentially Diddy as well, in a sex act. And that shows me that we're not an evolved society at all. If Diddy gets out of this situation, I find it very hard to believe that he would truly be canceled.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's a way to spin it. I mean, I don't see a lot of establishments playing his music anymore. I don't see his music being licensed out to commercials anymore. I don't see record labels honestly working with him anymore to get those placements. So I think he would be effectively canceled. He's not going to be able to buy Revolt back, and he's probably going to have to pay a lot regardless. He's probably going to have to pay civil suits. He's going to have to pay money to these lawyers who get him out. He's not going to have a lot left if he does get out.
I guess for me though, I have to see it to believe it, to be honest with you. I would hope that you're correct. I really would. But I just think about, granted, we're in 2025 now, but I just remember early 2000s with R. Kelly, there was literally a tape of him and a minor that was out, and people saw that tape. They were looking at it in public, public consumption.
And
looking
he performed at the BET Awards that same year.
He was on
wrapped
tour.
It up. Yeah.
And he was on tour. He put albums out with literally any person that you can name. He has music with them in the time frame from that situation happening to now. And it's just very difficult for me to just look at us as a society, specifically African Americans, to say we're going to completely cancel and be done with him. We just not those people.
One thing that TMZ made a point of, Harvey on TMZ today, is that he harped on the story that Cassie told surrounding the video at the Intercontinental that leaked, right? The one that everyone saw with Diddy chasing Cassie down, pushing her down, and basically beating her, right? Telling her to get back upstairs. So she said that was in between the sessions, that she had to go to a film premiere or something later that night. Diddy wanted to have a freak off, and that was in between sessions because she wanted to leave because she didn't want to mess up this PR campaign that she was going on with this movie, right? So she tried to leave, and that's when all of that happened. Now, Harvey was saying if she was trying to leave the freak off and he was beating her because she was trying to leave, that's no longer domestic violence. That is you forcing someone to be somewhere and to do something. Like that's
Yes,
different.
but yesterday the security guard of that hotel testified, and he said that he went up there because there was like they saw it on the camera, so they went up there to like diffuse the situation. And there's two things he said that really sticks out to me. One, they asked him why didn't he call the cops if this happened, and he said she didn't seem to be in trouble at the time when he intervened. And two, he said that she left on her own free will with a driver. So it's kind of one of those things where it's just like you can't say that she wasn't able to leave that situation when she actually did leave that situation.
But she wasn't able to leave when she wanted to leave. Like, of course, if someone goes up there and she's able to, like, he's not going to hold her while someone else is there in the door. Like, of course, he's going to let her leave.
I mean, I guess, but I think that's up to, like, if you're the jury, though, and you hear a story like that, I think that's the part that makes this hard. And there were so many things that were said today that I'm listening. I'm like, is the jury going to hear that the way it's supposed to be heard? Because everything's not black and white. There's some gray areas in this stuff, and there are certain things that she would say that I'm like, I wonder how the jury is going to take that. Because at one point they asked, why didn't she just leave the freak off or something like that? And she said, because that she didn't want to do it. And she said, I didn't want him to do it with anybody else. And like, that's a gray area, because to be honest with you, they were in a relationship and she thought that they were in a relationship. But is the jury going to see that as, oh, she's complacent? Or are they going to say, like, well, she was in a relationship with him, I can understand why she wouldn't want another woman to do that. And that's the part where it gets a little murky.
Right. I get it. All right. No pun intended here, but I have to get to a segment called I know it was bad time.
Maybe if you didn't say that.
It was bad. I had to say it because I didn't want people who are first-time viewers. We do this segment every week. I don't want people who are first-time viewers to think that this was somehow related to Diddy hitting Cassie. I just had to point it out.
Fair enough.
Give the disclaimer. But more Diddy news, because he's not out of the water yet. I'll Be Sure, R&B icon and father of Kim Porter's oldest son, former partner of Diddy, is coming forward with some major claims of his own against Diddy. In a brand new interview, I'll Be Sure says that he's been subpoenaed to testify in Diddy's federal sex trafficking case, and he's ready. But that's just the start. Here is what I'll Be Sure had to say about some claims that he has of his own against one Diddy.
So you were in that coma in 2022. You had the liver transplant, you had the tracheotomy, I mean, all that stuff that went on.
Multi-system organ failure.
Yeah,
wow. 60.
Right. Have they figured out what happened yet?
We will.
But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
Mm-hmm. But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, I am. And again, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
so
the only reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
My first time saying it.
Are you concerned that he still has power outside of incarceration?
Remember, I'm the only one who spoke up, and I'm the only one left alive.
Wow. Well, Dex, you heard it. He's not backing down. What do you think of I'll Be Sure's new revelations in light of the Diddy trial?
I think that if I'll Be Sure is able to speak, I do think this could help with the racketeering conspiracy section of the case. I don't see a lot of other things happening with it, but if you can explain that he, like from an organizational standpoint, that other people were involved in this, that he's paying people to do these things to you, I do think they can get him on those charges. I think that'll be a really hard thing, and you got to have proof of it, but like this would definitely help with it.
He also alleges that he does not believe that Kim Porter died from pneumonia. He says, well, he said that they were together the week before. She was fine. They actually hung out together. And he said that he was actually partying with Diddy at the time. And not like the freak offs, but they were at a party together, and he put his arm around like Diddy's neck and was like, being really friendly. And he saw Kim across the room, and Kim told him to stop. He doesn't know what that was about, and then the next week she's dead. So look, he's not, like you said, he's not charged with any of that, but it's interesting that Albie Shore he's been saying this for a while and he's never backed down from it.
But stop though, because like this is a legal matter. So you're saying things that are speculation based. When you go into that courtroom, you do that, they're going to strike that. They're not going to allow you to say that. Like you have to stick to the facts that you have. And if you don't have facts, then you probably shouldn't get up there, because they're going to paint you as jealous and obsessed with Kim Porter and all these things like that, and you're not going to help the case. So if you don't have any concrete evidence, you should stay at home.
All right. Moving on, because Hit and Quit is supposed to be fast. Let's get into one of the biggest and most serious entertainment headlines right now. Tory Lanez, the rapper currently serving a 10-year prison sentence for shooting Megan Thee Stallion, has reportedly been stabbed 14 times while behind bars. According to his legal team, the attack happened inside the prison facility where he's incarcerated, and details are still emerging, but they did release the following on his Instagram. Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own. Despite being in pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. It's a lot. 14 times. It's crazy. That's not just like a little prison scuffle. That's a targeted, violent assault, and one that some aren't that inclined to actually believe in the first place. A woman on Twitter said, what's her name? Jehovah's Thickness?
Jehovah's Thickness.
I know that's right. She wrote, "I'm sorry, gotta circle back. I have too much trauma ICU experience and taken care of countless stabbing victims to let this slide. You get stabbed 14 times, twice being in the head, and bilateral pneumonia. You're not getting extubated, and you will have multiple trips to the operating room." So she's not buying that this all happened in a day and he was released, talking, and is up and about. Dex, what were your thoughts when you heard Tory had been stabbed 14 times?
So my first thing was I was like, wow, like, is this true? Because, you hear a lot of things and this is like, I don't know if this is true or not. But then it started to be this thing that I'm noticing where people were like, I don't think this really happened. And I was like, that is a little disturbing to me that people are saying that. And it's crazy too, because then I saw another group of people saying like, praying for Tory, this is my dog, like, I hope you're okay, this and they were adding him like he was going to respond to him. Praying for Tory, this is my dog, like, I hope you get better, this and the third. And I'm just like, now where have I seen this before?
Yeah.
And then for me, it's just like, I don't necessarily like the speculation about anybody's like health or injury that's happened to them. I didn't like it when him and his supporters were doing it to Megan, and I don't necessarily like it with people doing it to him as well. But it's one of those things where it's just like, do we not see what's happening here? Like, what you did to someone else, people are literally doing it to him.
Out of spite, yeah.
Like,
literally out of spite.
And they're justified in doing it too, because you did it, and you did it for years. You made songs about it, you made jokes about it. Wise up. Like, this is one of those situations where it's just like, what's not clicking up here? Like, nobody's in the right in this situation, and like, I do hope he makes it. Well, they said he made a speedy recovery, so I guess I don't even have to pray for it. So
the attacker apparently is already facing life in prison, so he had nothing to lose, I guess. So he just went for it. But they did identify him. He is a Hispanic male, and he is, I guess, not getting out anytime soon. So we don't have to worry about him.
Well, I'd like to know what you got out of stabbing Tory. Like, what did he do to you that you made him say like, I need to
I'm not speculating or nothing, but
well, he's not gonna get out to do nothing to you, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. People get phone calls made in jail. Maybe somebody.
If you are serving a life sentence and you just stab somebody 14 times, you don't get no phone calls. Like, you You actually need to be put in
Well,
handcuffs.
not no more. Not no more. He did. He used to get phone calls. He got a phone call.
And wait, and I don't want to make jokes about this, but Tory Lanez is really short. So, like, could you imagine like that scene of when that was happening?
I know. Well, we wish him a speedy recovery, and can we say the absolute best or no?
I'm sure.
Doesn't apply. Okay. Rapper The Game is being forced to sell his Calabasas mansion, and not by choice. A judge has ordered the sale to satisfy a $7 million court judgment stemming from a sexual assault lawsuit filed by a woman who appeared on his VH1 reality show when he was popular nearly a decade ago. Sorry, I didn't have to add that when he was popular. That was nasty. Now, this case has dragged on for years, with the courts saying that Game basically dodged paying up. And now that mansion, the one that is worth over $5 million, is up for grabs. Now, here's where it gets complicated, and I guess you could say controversial. Should someone lose their home in a civil case like this when they are able to pay part of the settlement, but not the full thing? Dex, what you think?
I don't think under any circumstances, unless it's a divorce, should somebody lose their home. Like, that is absolutely insane to me.
Okay. I mean, but does this set, look, we were talking about accountability earlier. Does this set a nice, strong precedent for celebrities who think, they can just do whatever they want, and flout the legal process? I guess the problem is Game didn't have the cash on hand. If Game would have had the $7 million, he wouldn't have to sell his house, right? So the problem is
she got a $7 million judgment for this. Like, that's what they said that he owes her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
if
you owe people money and they have to go after assets, like they're going to go after assets. To me, Game just had a baby too, so I just think it's one of those things. Like, with Evelyn Lozado's daughter.
Whoa.
But to me though, I just think it's one of those things where if a person doesn't have money to pay something or whatever, to take their home, and I'm sure he has other homes, but to take their home, so I'm homeless because of a lawsuit?
I guess you're gonna have to find an
apartment.
apartment.
I guess that's common though. I guess you would lose a house if you sure.
You gotta find an apartment, do something.
Yeah, probably.
Get back in that studio, make some hits.
And make some beats.
Something. He was friends with Kanye for a while, and I guess that fell through. Like, maybe he was trying to keep a rich friend around and didn't keep him around long enough. But
get him back.
Yeah.
You need a home.
You're gonna end up owing more than $7 million.
Yeah, right.
All right, for more scoop, you can hit us up on TikTok at BroTalk Live on TikTok.
I got a question.
All right, guys, this is the part of the show where you send us in a question, we send you guys out an answer. So this is Q&A. Sprayed him like a cat is the question.
Dex, you should know all about this.
Yeah, I do. I am having some issues with it. Man. Okay.
You have some issues with some cat.
I live in a quiet-ish suburban neighborhood where everyone's pretty chill, except for my next door neighbor, Stacy. For the past few weeks, I've noticed her 5-year-old kid
did I lose you? I think we might have lost Dex. Did we lose Dex? Okay, I'll read it. I'm not sure what Dex, are you frozen? Okay, I think Dex is frozen. So since we're here, I'll read. I live in a quietish suburban neighborhood where everyone's pretty chill, except for my next door neighbor, Stacy. For the past few weeks, I've noticed her 5-year-old kid dropping through and relieving himself on the strip of grass between the sidewalk and my front yard. At first, I thought it was a one-off, but nope. Dude's been making regular stops, like my lawn is his personal pit stop. I mentioned it to her casually one day, and she straight up denied it and said, "Oh no, he's potty trained," and gave me a weird look like I was imagining things. Cool, whatever. But then I caught it on my Ring camera. I sent her the video, nicely, I swear, and she goes, "That's not your property. That strip belongs to the city. He can pee there if he wants," end quote. What? So here's where I might have gone nuclear. The next day, I see the kid waddling over again, and I instinctively grab my plant mister and give him a harmless little spritz before he unzips. Nothing aggressive, just a light mist and a firm, nope, not here, buddy. Stacy lost it. Came storming over yelling that I assaulted her child and threatened to call the police. Now she's got a whole mom group brigade thinking that I'm a psychopath who maces toddlers. My other neighbors are split. Half think that I was totally justified, half think that I've gone full suburban Batman. So here's the question. Did I go too far with the water spray, or is this the only way to enforce boundaries when talking doesn't work? All right, Dex, if you missed the question because I think you froze, your computer died, what's going on?
I don't know what just happened, but like, do you hear music?
Do I have music?
Do you hear it? Do you hear music? Okay,
that's probably the Hit It and Quit It theme. Is it gone now?
Gotcha. No, you go ahead. Give your answer first, and I'll give mine.
All right. So just in case you missed it, I read it for the audience, but a little kid came to someone's yard and keeps peeing in their front yard. The mom said that strip of grass is public property. The man said, "What are you talking about?" The little kid came over the next day with a Ring camera. Came over the next day. He caught it on the Ring camera, showed the mom. The mom didn't care. I kind of got that mixed up. But yeah. Did he go too far? Then the kid came back and the person sprayed them with water. Did they go too far? Is the water spray too far, or is the only way to enforce boundaries spraying a kid with water when talking doesn't work? What you think?
Now, personally, I'm having like a very similar issue with an actual cat that comes onto my property and doesn't use the bathroom or anything like that, but comes onto my property. And I have been throwing water at it to get it away. And I feel like if you decide like this is what you feel like you need to do, I don't have an issue with it.
I mean, if a 5-year-old kid, is this kid 5? That's you read? 5? If this kid is 5 and peeing on your lawn, yeah. I feel like that kid can get sprayed and the kid will be just fine. But I'm not just going to let a kid pee in my yard day after day. Like, that's crazy to me.
It's also like at some point, where's the parenting there? Like, as the parent, if I've told you and you don't do anything about it, I do have to take matters into my own hand.
Why does your kid have to pee every time it comes outside? That's my problem. Like, hey, what are you doing? What are we doing?
And this strip of grass is like it's my property. It's mine. Don't do
Literally
that.
Mine. Literally mine. Dex, I think if you turn your camera sideways, let's try that. Let's see if that works. Live editing here. Did it not resolve? Okay, guess it didn't resolve. You're good. Never mind.
I really have no idea what just happened either. I have no idea what just happened.
Look, it's live. It's live TV. Here we go. All right. For more questions, make sure you hit us up. Where, Dex?
You can go to www.brotalklive.com/questions. Jason.
So press record and let you feel me.
All right. These are all videos from my bookmarks. If this is your first time watching, I am a Twitter addict. Dex, would you call it that?
Fiend, but sure.
Fiend. Okay, I like that. Fiend. So these are the best videos that I see throughout the week that I decided to bookmark, kind of group together. The theme this week is called Big Dog. What you doing? Because that's the question for the day, okay? Big Dog, what you doing? We're going to pick one. And the one video we pick this week will move on to the 2025 BroTalk Live Awards that happen every December to wrap up the year. So Dex, I actually have 5. And the reason I have 5, we're going to pick between 4. But the reason I have 5 is because of this Genuine video that came out of him singing that Chris Brown song Residuals at his concert. And he didn't know the words. And again, Chris Brown not only is younger than him, but still alive and fully capable of singing this song himself. Big Dog, what are you doing? Why are you singing this man's song? You don't know the words. What's happening? What is that? What are you doing?
I think Genuine is one of those people. He's a legend. He's an icon. You know what I mean? Like we always got to respect him and just he can do this. Like we just gotta let him do it. We gotta respect him because we just got to.
You're like, just let me smile. And what was that long note? It was a mess. That's what that was. So that's what the theme this week is. Big Dog, what you doing? All right. Next up, we have in the category. This one's called I Don't Know.
Y'all hoes thought she was sweet. I promise on my soul, I'm coming back and fucking each and every one of y'all up. It ain't over till I motherfucking say it's over. With my big ass eye. I promise I'm gonna get you bitches.
Girl. Stand down, miss.
Don't know if I would have posted that.
I don't know what she was thinking.
I think she should leave those girls alone.
I don't think she knew what was about to happen when she fought them girls.
I also wonder how she pressed record on that because both of your eyes are swollen shut.
I don't know either. All right, next up, we're gonna call this one. You're gonna like this title, Shabuzi. Okay. Keep that in mind. Shabuzi. Big Dog.
Look, hey,
a whole gallon of Jack Daniels right in the front of your little tights.
Them tariffs hit.
Big Dog.
Her arm is in a sling. Like your arm is broken, and you're still not the liquor store.
That was probably just a cover so she can hold her arm over her stomach.
Priorities all over the place.
All over the place. Next up, we have It's Electric.
Dickhead. Yo.
Lower it.
Yo, he's a dickhead, yo. He's a dickhead, yo. Two-steppers. Oh! Hey, get the fuck in the car. Get the fuck in. You got a two-step here. What the fuck? Oh. I'm getting. What the fuck? I'm getting. He burnt. Oh no.
Big Dog. What you doing?
Are you dumb? and you working on this is why when we have the storms and electricity be out and it'd be like, I don't know why electricity's not big up because you got him working on the job. He don't know what the hell he doing. He don't know his dick from his elbow.
He don't know his what?
That's what my grandfather used to say. He used to get mad and be like, you don't know your dick from your elbow. Like, what, boy?
What does that even mean?
Stupid.
Real dumb. All right. And last but not least, we got Gator Boy.
The fuck out of that water, dumbass! Get fucked. Oh God, dude. This ain't my first rodeo. Yo, I hear you. Come on. You want to see what I did the last one? I'm gonna show you. Last one that bit me. Watch. I'm gonna turn this motherfucker upside down. I'm gonna gut it. Come on, sunshine. I didn't do anything. Can I please? I'm not worried about him. He knows I'm not looking. Want it? You don't. Look, you're good. I feed you up. Look, be cool. I slapped you. We're good.
Well, you see that Gator walk up on him. You see that? You see he walk up on him.
I ain't seen
Stay
no
where you
part two.
need to
That's all
stay.
I'm gonna say. I ain't seen no part two. So I don't know what happened.
Oh, you seen no part two? He probably killed him.
I have no idea what happened.
Well, at least he was smart enough not to do it while the camera was rolling.
That's true. What's winning? Big Dog, what you doing? Genuine, Gator Boy, Electric, Shabuzi, or I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, it's I don't know. It's got to be the I don't know. But to be honest with you, this is the best one we've ever. Every single one of these were perfect. But I don't know has to be seen again.
All right, last chance to get your comments in. Let us know. I don't know.
Y'all hoes thought she was sweet. I promise on my soul, I'm coming.
That was I don't know. Shabuzi. Electric.
Dickhead.
Gator Boy.
The fuck out of that water, dumbass! Get popped.
Oh God, dude.
Just literally fighting that gator.
Gator Boy is actually my second favorite one. I think that is excellent.
He was talking so much trash. And Genuine, who had no idea what he was saying. Okay, so you're going with I don't know.
Gotcha.
I think I'm gonna go with I don't know too. Her eyes was jacked
And
up.
that's
You know,
bold to do that.
and I was looking too. I was like, makeup's good. People can fake make. I like, I always look for these, see if they're fake, right? Because that's my first concern. That I'm gonna put something up and people will be like, oh, that was a fake. Like, you got that wrong. So that's my first concern. And I really analyzed that thing. She had puffing in the right places, swelling.
I was gonna fall out. What are you talking about?
the lips were totally
did. It is crazy though that when I looked at it, I did think the same thing. Like, oh, maybe this is fake because her lips were intact. How do you beat somebody up and only focus on the eyes? Like,
but the lips was a little swole. Look at the lips.
Y'all hoes thought she was sweet. I promise on my soul, I'm coming.
That bottom lip is puffy.
Well, I mean,
nah, but that's a little puffier than puffy. that's enhanced. All right, we're going to pick I don't know to make it through to the BroTalk live.
And I'm sorry if anybody wanted another. They were all good. I think everything was excellent this week.
They were. Follow us for more at BroTalk Live on Twitter. All right, guys. Freeze up this time, okay?
I hope not. I don't know what happened. All right, guys. This part of the show is our seat segment. This is the part of the show where we say, like, you got to have a seat. If you've done something this past week to piss us off and we need you to take a seat and calm yourself down and get yourself together, this is the time for us to give it to you. I do have a seat. Jason, do you have one?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So, guys, this past weekend was Mother's Day weekend. So my wife and I, we went out to stores and picked up Mother's Day gifts for literally every single person in our family, which is a seat within itself. But one of the gifts we were picking up is picture frames because we wanted to frame pictures to give to everybody, right? So we go into the store and we go to the checkout line and the girl's wrapping up the stuff and she asked me if I want to buy a bag for 10 cents. I said, yes, I'll buy a bag. So then she starts to put the picture frames into the bag. My wife is like, oh, can you wrap the frames so that they don't, break? So she starts to wrap one and she's like, wait, do you want them all individually wrapped? My wife says, yes, because it's glass. So yes. So then she wraps the frames up and then we also bought gift bags too. So she wraps the frames up, she puts the frames inside of the bag and then she sits the gift bags on top of the bag. And then she says to me, oh, grab your receipt. So I grabbed my receipt. I didn't realize this lady had an attitude. I really didn't. It didn't click to me that she had an attitude. Oh. So I grabbed my receipt. I put my receipt away. And then I noticed that she didn't put my gift bags in the bag that I just purchased. Oh. So then I proceed to go and put the gift bags in the bag. And she says to me, can you move over there and do that? And I said, what? And she's like, can you move over there and do that because I have other customers in line? And I said, oh well, you didn't put this in the bag after I paid for the bag and paid for the items. You didn't put it in the bag. And then she says, okay. Then I said, you do it. You put this stuff in the bag. So then she goes to me. She looks at me and she smirks and she goes, "Oh, I don't have to." And like, I don't really like to come out of character too much. I really don't. But I looked at her and
How old was she?
She was probably about our age. She wasn't like young and she wasn't like super old either.
Maybe she's having okay, keep going.
And I looked at her and I said, "Are you stupid? Like, what is wrong with you?" So then my wife told me, Harriet, my baby was with me too. So I couldn't, cut up like I wanted to. So my wife was like, "Let's just go. We don't need to do it." And I, as I'm walking out of the store, I'm like, she's upset because she used to stand here and work out, me going off whatever. But long story short, if you are having a bad day at work, just call out. Nobody's forcing you to go to work that day. Miss out on the money, but just don't bring your attitude to nobody else because nobody else deserves that. And the next time, it won't be me, and the person probably won't be as nice as I was. The only thing I said to you is, "Are you stupid?" Somebody else will call you out your name, and I probably would have got there, but I didn't do that.
Okay, I feel that.
So ugly, please have a seat.
You better
and actually, this seat would be really helpful because she was standing up the whole time while she was going off, and I think that if she was allowed to sit down, she probably would have had a more pleasant day.
Hey, I don't think cashiers should be required to stand during their whole shift. That's something that I've always believed in. I've never told this to anybody. I've always held this deep in my heart. I don't know why they make cashiers stand up. They don't even have really nothing to lean on except for the side of that cash register. And they can't put that elbow there because they're going to hit all the buttons and then that register won't pop out.
And this would have hit all the buttons.
Don't do that.
She would have.
Big dog, what you doing? Shout out to everyone who watched tonight. Really appreciate you guys. Normally there's about 4 of us on air, but you caught the version with just me and Dex, which is great because we had a great time. We can always hold it down. This show is modular, so we make it happen whichever way and whenever way we can. Okay. So make sure you continue to tune into us, subscribe on whatever channel you're watching us on. If it's X at BroTalk Live, if it's Instagram, we're not live on Instagram, so I don't know why I said Instagram. Facebook, we're live at BroTalk Live, and YouTube, we're also live as well. So make sure that you follow us on actually all of those in case you want to get some more of us. We're trying to build up our following. And tell a friend to tune in next week. We host shows every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. And we will see you guys on our various channels. We do breaking news as well, so make sure you follow us for that. Anybody, you have anything to say before we get out of here?
No, just thank you guys for watching. Like Jason said, our YouTube, you definitely got to check out. Our Instagram, our Twitter, and what is the other thing called?
And TikTok.
TikTok, yes. Like, please check us out.
Old.
Yeah, right. Like, I'm not used to doing this because I'm not used, but yes, definitely check us out on there. We hope you guys enjoyed the show today. At the end of this week, guys, when we come back next week, or if we come back next week, Jason's going to be a year older. It is his birthday coming up this weekend.
Yeah. I forgot. That was Thursday.
Happy birthday, Jason. We couldn't do this without you. The day that your parents decided to meet and procreate you was the best day of my life, and I didn't even know it at the time. God bless.
Thank you. Tory season, we going up. So shout out to all the Tory out there. I think that's the plural of Tauruses.
But you know what? Shout out to Tauruses though. Every year I go to this thing where I think about Tauruses, and I'm like, I don't like them. Like they're mean people or whatever. But literally, all my close friends are Tauruses. It's just
that's how we do it.
Crazy.
So I really appreciate the birthday shout out. Hey, if you want to give me a birthday gift, subscribe to us on all of our platforms and share all of our content for the next week. That's my birthday gift. Okay, there we go. All right, for Dex, for Ty, for Bill, for Eric, this has been another edition of Bro Talk Live. We will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.